begin by coming down to the floor. We'll grab our 2 blocks and we're going to bring them with us to the floor. And so you may want to reposition. We're going to be on the floor for a while, so you may wish to reposition your camera so that you can see the video as well. All right, and then just come all the way down to your back. And let's take the blocks and lock them, one behind your heel and then one at your hamstring. And squeeze. Do the same thing on the other side. Take your hands and interlace your fingers behind your head. And now draw your thumbs up until your thumbs come just behind your earlobes, aligning your head and neck. And again, squeezing the blocks, just begin to shift your legs back and forth, using this practice to come into our proprioceptive sense. And just breathing organically as you do this. Continue to move just like that. I'm going to let a few more people into the classroom. So continuing to move, shifting your feet back and forth, your legs back and forth, and squeezing the blocks as you do so. This is a very simple practice that we can use to bring ourselves back into our bodies when we feel like we're maybe operating with a little too much mental energy. Good, and then go ahead and bring your blocks, grab your blocks, and place them to the side. And again, I apologize for interruptions. I may have to let additional people in tonight, so if I have to interrupt the cues, then just continue moving and continue breathing. Okay? So now bring your forearms back to the earth. Your elbows are bent. And begin to just pat the floor with your hands, making contact with your environment, feeling the earth supporting you here. Bring your feet off of the floor, your knees above your hips. We're going to move through some actions here like shooting star. Watch me first and then we'll do it together. So it's going to be an inhale, and then exhale, extending your legs, coming up to your hands, and then inhale back down. On the exhale, making the sh sound, S-H. Controlled descent back to the earth, so we're not flopping back, but we're really using our core awareness to draw us back to the earth, and then shh. Taking your time as you move through this, noticing any tendency that arises to rush through it. Slowing it down, becoming fully present with every shift in our weight. Not just going through the motions from point A to point B, but really allowing ourselves to feel and sense along the way. Last 3. Noticing, and keep moving as I talk to you, notice any tendency to pull yourself up by your head and neck. If that's happening, drop your awareness down into your core moving from this place. And control descent back down to your forearms. And let's come into constructive rest, so your knees are bent. You may want to roll up your mat to provide a little support for your head here, or you can place a towel back there. But I also want to recommend placing a towel or blanket over your center of gravity, so over your pelvis. Find that just a little bit of additional load here to ground us again into that proprioceptive sense. And then interlace your hands behind your head. Again, bringing your thumbs just behind your earlobes, aligning your head and neck at your atlanto-occipital joint. And then beginning to direct our breath here. Drop your awareness down to your belly. Notice any areas of tension or holding in that space. And then fully relax your belly. Inhaling down, full and wide into that space. Exhale, drawing your breath up as it exits your body. Relax your belly. Inhale fills the space. So we're inhaling down. Now we're going to keep breathing just like that, but we're going to add a bit of technique here. So let us extend our inhale to the count of 5. And then you will hold your breath full to the count of 5. And then exhale to the count of 5 and hold your breath at empty to the count of 5. So 5 all the way around. Again, relax your belly completely. And inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5. Gradual exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold empty to the count of 5. Relax your belly. Repeat another full round just like that. Using this breath pattern to draw us deeper into a parasympathetic nervous system state. And you can continue breathing just like that, or you can reduce it to the count of 3. But just continue breathing in a way that allows you to come more into a restful state. Allowing yourself to find the space between each breath. Surrendering here in this space between movement. Surrendering even deeper in this space between things. Noticing ourselves here in the space between what we once were and what we are becoming. And as you consider what you once were and what you are becoming, notice if there is ease here, or anxiety, or restlessness, or perhaps some other feeling. Between what you once were and what you are becoming. Where in your body do you feel these sensations? Perhaps it's the sensations of excitement or fear. Just noticing where in your body that shows up for you. And begin to watch that sensation unfold through feeling. So our thoughts and emotions can be quite complicated, but sensations are simple. They come and go and rise and fall. And these sensations are intuitive messages trying to communicate deeper needs. Continue here to just notice the sensation of the floor supporting you on the back side of your body. And noticing the space between each inhale and exhale. So from our left brain, we operate in a linear plane. Everything is about working from point A to point B. And when we find ourselves between point A and point B, we can feel a little restless and anxious. But from our right brain, we enter the realm of multidimensionality. It's not about being linear. It's not about just getting from point A to point B. It's about feeling and sensing the moments along the way. This is where depth of experience happens. This feeling and sensing allows us to derive meaning from our lives, to feel a sense of purpose. Very different from thinking about a purpose. But tonight is all about exploring rites of passage. The space between things. The identity that we once were that is dying in a sense. In order for us to have a personal rebirth. Transforming into a fuller part of ourselves that maybe we don't even recognize or fully know yet. And every rite of passage is characterized by some confusion, feeling a bit disoriented, not knowing what's coming or how we'll be able to handle it, what will be expected of us in the new chapter. And if we try to approach that with our left brain, point A to point B, we may miss out on the meaning and the purpose of it all. So tonight's practice is about stepping into a state of receptivity, activating our right brain and our felt sense, replacing confusion and disorientation with a feeling of truth and clarity, accessible through our bodies. So let us play with allowing truth and clarity to show up for us as a felt experience instead of rational thoughts. Okay, so let us explore, what does truth feel like in your body? We're going to play with this a little bit. I'm going to take you into some guided sensory inquiry, and then you're going to come out and take some notes in your journal. So if you don't have a journal nearby, go ahead and grab that now. And then come back into a really comfortable place, somewhere where you can be relaxed and getting full breath. So sometimes sitting down is not the best place for full breath. So maybe staying in constructive rest is just perfect for you. All right, so journal and pen is nearby, coming into a very relaxed position, somewhere we can be for a while. Let us go back into that square breathing. So it was when we were counting our breath, right? And it was equal counts all the way around. Let us do that again. Maybe counting to 5 is too much for you. Maybe you just want to count your breath to the count of 3. Find what works for you. And we're going to do 4 cycles of that. I'm not going to count for you because I want you to be in your own here, but 4 cycles of that square breath pattern. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Equal time. Noticing the space between each breath. Last breath here. Great, and you can keep breathing like that or just return to a more organic breath for yourself. And now we're going to play with the felt sense. So your eyes can be closed here to really turn within. And think of something that you absolutely love, like something that you love so very much, it's not even a question how much you love it. It could be a favorite food, it could be a favorite thing to do. Really thinking of something that you can really connect with the feeling of loving it just so much. And now say to yourself, I love, fill in the blank with whatever it is. And keep repeating that statement, I love, whatever it is. Begin to notice the sensations, the subtle sensations in your body as you repeat and think about this thing that you love so much. Where in your body do you feel it the most? What sensations are there specifically? Notice how truth feels in your body as you make this true statement to yourself. And retain these details. Invitation here to reach for that journal and just make a few notes of what you felt here as you made a true statement. What did you feel in your body amid truth? Keeping your notes as simple as possible, focused on the sensations of your body. Just going to give you another 30 seconds here. So you can put your journal to the side now. And let's come down to your back. Bring your knees to hover over your hips and your hands behind your knees. Round your spine and using your core strength, rock up, modify for yourself if needed. And then we're going to come over onto quadruped, all fours. Find your 2 blocks. Place one block under your right hand and the other block under your left knee. Your knees are beneath your hips. So you have asymmetry here. So block under right hand, the other under your left knee. Sorry, I think I may have said that wrong before, but opposite sides, okay? And here we're just going to begin shifting a bit. You can come into spinal flexion, rounding your spine, and then tilting your pelvis forward, spinal extension, looking forward. Keep moving just like that, playing with various spinal articulations. We're using asymmetry here to break out of habitual pattern. Oftentimes when we use a little bit of asymmetry, it helps to illuminate the tissue habits in our bodies. Keep moving just like that. And now we're going to add a little bit of breath. So it's going to be inhale, spinal flexion. On the exhale, the shh sound, extension. Shh. Inhale into your belly, flexion. 3 more here. Come down and place your blocks to the side. Step back, finding downward dog. Two more breaths here. And when ready, step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Standing up, arms overhead, looking up, and hands to heart center. Activate your thighs as if you're going to squeeze a block between them. When you do that, noticing the integration of your pelvis and your core. Good. Inhale into your belly. Exhale, arms overhead. Inhale, forward fold. Keep breathing. Find half lift. And then planting your hands, stepping back into quadruped. And then roll over onto your back. Come now back into constructive rest. If you wish, you can place the towel over your center of gravity, just a little bit of load here to ground you in to that proprioceptive sense. Return now to your breath, finding the equal breath pattern. So counting again, just like we were before. I call it square breathing, where it's the same in, out, and holding. Find that pattern again for yourself for the next 4 breaths here. And now playing here with what a non-truth feels like in your body. So thinking of that thing before that you were just thinking of something that you love so very much, pull that back up to your mind and now say to yourself, I hate that thing that you love. So we're actually speaking a non-truthful statement to ourselves. So you're going to fill in the blank with the same thing as before, but repeat to yourself, I hate blank. Bringing the awareness into your body to notice the sensations of non-truth. How does your body feel when you make these statements? So I'll leave you in this for the next couple of minutes. Keep repeating. Notice where those sensations of non-truth show up in your body. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and journal about this, but take your time if you need more time. Making those observations about the sensations of non-truth. How does non-truth feel in your body? Go ahead and jot that down now. Okay. And when ready, let's come out of that. Come on into quadruped. Place your block under your left hand and block under your right knee. If you need more time to journal, go ahead. Go at your own pace. And then here we're just going to move again through cat-cow or spinal mapping. Inhale, flexion. Exhale. Move your blocks out of the way. Bring your hands up your mat and step back, downward dog. Step, hop, or float to the top of your mat and stand up. Okay. We're going to do kind of a silly sort of practice here, but we're doing it because there is a sensory motor wisdom to it, okay? So a lot of times when we are feeling contracted or confused or disoriented, there can be a sense of heaviness to that. And so we're just going to use this to lighten things up. And it's something we all did as kids. So it's just going to be skipping, and I'm going to invite you to sing along with me. But it's just going to go, hang on, I can't watch myself on the video. Lou, skip to my loo. Lou, skip to my loo. Lou, skip to my loo. I know it sounds crazy, but this is used by my favorite trauma therapist. So play along. Lou, skip to my loo. Lou, skip to my loo. Keep going. And notice the shift in your subtle energy. Does a smile form on your face? Does a giddiness arise within you? Maybe summoning a bit of that playful, magical inner child that doesn't always get to come out as adults. All right, just a few more and let's sing it together. Lou, skip to my loo. Lou, skip to my loo. And pause. And notice for yourself here, hands on your body, the contrast between speaking a non-truth to yourself, how that felt in your body, versus the sensation of carefreeness. Closing your eyes and really noting that contrast. How does carefreeness feel different from non-truth? And you can make some journal observations for yourself here, because all of this is relevant to tonight's topic. Okay. So every step of tonight's class is providing you a tool to use to tap into your intuition versus the overthinking mind, the part of ourselves that's programmed by our past, the part of ourselves that is a product of the past. See, when we come upon a rite of passage where we're stepping into something brand new, life is calling us to change in a big way, we have to shed some of that programming. And so if we get stuck in trying to over-process our emotions or try to understand the whys of why do we behave this way, why do we make certain decisions, all of that gets us stuck, trapped in the psyche, trapped in the same old ways of feeling and perceiving ourselves. But through our sensory system, when we can cultivate contrasting experiences, when we can discern between truth and non-truth in our body, we can more easily create a new chapter that is in alignment with what is best for us and our environment, versus just a replay of our programming or a replay of our ancestral patterns. Okay, so every single thing tonight is a tool that you can take into your life and use, and the simplicity of it is kind of wild. It's very simple, but this is the stuff that gets results among my clients. So you're welcome. Welcome to use it in any way that you want and modify it in any way that you want. Okay, let's come to the top of your mat. And also, if you have questions about any of it, about like the scientific aspect of what we're doing, then you can always ask me after class. Okay, so bring your hands to heart center, and we're going to work here with feeling and sensing the contrast in our bodies as we go through some squats, okay? So let's just, everyone go squat down and come back up, down and come back up. Okay, and notice for yourself if you have tension in your head and neck as you move down and back up. Notice if you're pulling yourself up by your head and neck. Notice if you feel stable or like you're just kind of going through the motions, kind of floating through space. Okay, and now come back to standing. Bring your hands right here to the creases of your pelvis. Apply a little bit of pressure there. So for women, we're in the space that houses our ovaries, halfway between the pubic bone and the tip of our pelvic bone. All right. Now, we're going to move through these squats again. Your awareness here in your pelvis, in your root, okay? So inhale down, come back up. Awareness in your pelvic space, in your root. Okay. Notice the difference here as you move from your core and from your root. Do you have less tension in your head and neck? Do you have more feeling of being actually embodied versus just going through the motions? Begin to notice the building of any heat in your pelvic space. Good. And bring it back up. Keep your awareness here. Keep your hands over this space. Close your eyes for a moment. So one of the ways that we tend to give too much of ourselves away or allow the demands of the external world to overwhelm us or take too much from us, ways that we misuse or overuse our personal energy, or ways that we allow the external world to affect us, to harm us, to consume us. These things cannot happen if we are fully inhabiting our bodies. Because when we fully inhabit our bodies tell us when to move away from something, when to say no, when to guard ourselves, what street to walk down or not. This is scientifically verified, scientifically proven intuition of our bodies. And so one of the ways that you can begin to more fully inhabit your body and allow that intuition to be your director, if you're not already, I know the people in here are very sensitive, intuitive beings already, but perhaps this additional tool takes it to even another level, because I know it has and continues to do so for me. One of the ways we can do that is to inhabit your root. Bring your awareness into your body, actually bringing your awareness to the space that houses your ovaries or your creative center, and allow yourself to reside in that space. And so often we dissociate from this place because of, for whatever reason. There are many reasons that happens. So often we dissociate from that space, and as soon as we do, that's when our creative energy begins to be manipulated or controlled by the external. So inhabiting your root. Let's play with it a little bit more. Take your hands off of your pelvis now and see if you can continue to inhabit your root. We're going to do 10 more squats here. 1, Noticing if, again, you begin to strain in your head and neck. If that's happening, that's a sign that we're leaving our bodies, or our awareness is leaving our bodies. And we're working more from the mind or being pulled by the external. That's happening. Drop that awareness back down to your root. Three more here. So such a simple practice, but use this if you feel like the world is making a lot of demands and you're feeling imbalanced and like not very well boundaried. Use this practice to come back into your root, back into your body. I'm just going to check the time for us. Okay, because part of this class is going to be a lot more self-inquiry and journaling here at the end. So let us now bring our left foot forward. Your left foot forward. Bring your left arm, bend at the elbow, opening your palm. And bring your right hand open, palm up just beneath your heart space. Left foot is forward. If it feels safe and comfortable to you, go ahead and close your eyes. Dropping your awareness into the felt sense of this posture. If you don't want to have your hands up for an extended period, then bring your hands to your side, making loose fists with your thumbs tucked in. Left foot stays forward. Just noticing the space between each breath. Beginning to notice any subtle shifts in your energy as you're here. Notice if you feel more contracted or open. More receptive or blocked. Left foot forward activates right brain. Lasting transformation happens. And I'm talking healing of ancestral patterns, of generational trauma, shedding of old programming. This happens through right brain, through feeling and sensing a new way forward. Left foot forward, right brain activation. So moving forward, if you find yourself in a state of confusion or disorientation amid this big life change, come back to this posture. This stance is seen in Egyptian hieroglyphs. The left foot forward is a simple way of coming to a state of receptivity to feel and sense beyond our programming. Just a few more breaths here so you can feel for yourself. Notice how it feels to be in a state of receptivity within your body. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Again, it's all about the simplicity when it comes to working with the felt sense. So come into a comfortable position where your spine can be erect, where you can get full movement of your diaphragm, up and down, full breath, and where you can be in a state to receive, and to feel, and consider the rest of tonight's inquiry. You can have your journal nearby as well. Once you get there, go ahead and again close your eyes, placing your hands somewhere on your body, perhaps back into that pelvic space. So a rite of passage is a doorway. On one side, we're walking away from what we once were. And on the other side, we do not yet know what we're becoming. It's a great big question mark over there. So we're literally residing in the space between things. And in this liminal space between identity death and personal rebirth, it's normal to feel somewhat alone, or to feel like part of us is not fully here. And that's because a rite of passage is actually a call to action for us to retrieve a part of our soul that we've not fully embodied yet. It is a call to action for us to go and find a part of us that has been in hiding, waiting until we were ready to fully become it. Allowing yourself to ask, what part of me has been in hiding, waiting until I was ready? Sometimes we get an immediate answer and other times not so much. But we're going to practice a little shamanic exercise here to play with calling this part back home. And we're going to do it by singing our name. And this may be a little strange, so if you don't want to be overheard by people in your house, you can do it, you can whisper it to yourself. That can be really fun and playful, or do it silently. but you're just going to be singing your name. So sing it in any way that you want, and just as if you were playing hide and seek with a child and you were playfully calling their name, wandering in the yard looking for them. Bring that same sort of curiosity and playfulness here, and just begin to sing your name. You're going to be in this for a couple of minutes, singing your name, calling this part of you that's been in hiding back home. Perhaps even seeing yourself wandering around some nature spot that you love, calling your name, looking for yourself. Noting any feelings and imagery that come up as you do this. What part of you has been in hiding, waiting until you are ready to fully embody it? Take your time with this practice. In about another minute, we're going to begin with a series of questions for you to journal. Just continue singing your name, calling this part back home. Feel free here to make any notes on what you discovered there, any answers that you feel like you received, or just interesting experiences or imagery. Go ahead and take a moment to jot that down. Perhaps even seeing an image of this part of yourself and asking, And you saying your name when you do this. So it could sound something like, Amanda, what must I let go of for you to fully come home? So use your own name and ask, what must I let go of for you to come home? Do not censor yourself, but go ahead and write stream of consciousness, anything that arises. If you're not getting a clear answer, just write down what sensations you notice in your body as you ask that question. I'm going to leave you here for about another minute or so to just ask yourself, call yourself by name and ask, what must I let go of for you to come home? Next question here, calling yourself by name can sound something like this. Amanda, what do you want me to know more than anything? So you're asking this part of yourself that's been in hiding, waiting for you to be ready for it, calling it by name and asking, what do you want me to know more than anything? Try to oscillate here between eyes closed and feeling into your body to see what shows up, and then jotting down stream of consciousness. Kind of oscillate between the two. We're going to ask that question one more time. Calling yourself by name, what do you want me to know more than anything? Next question, calling yourself by name again. What do you want me to open myself up to that I've previously resisted? I'll say it one more time. So call yourself by name. What do you want me to open up to that I've previously resisted? Oscillating between feeling in the body and taking your notes. What do you want me to open myself up to that I previously resisted? Maybe you wrote a lot of things down for that one. So take your pen or pencil and just hold it very, very loosely on your pad of paper and ask yourself, call yourself by name and ask which of these is most important right now. And just see what happens when you ask that question. Where is your energy directed immediately? Which of these is most important for me to focus on right now? Circle whatever that was. Perhaps you're already automatic writing and doing that. And now imagine that there is this door that you're standing before. Close your eyes and do this. There is a door, a big, beautiful, mysterious door standing before you. And you look over your shoulder behind you and you see yourself in your old ways of being, your old ways of perceiving yourself and showing up in the world. See yourself there. Take a good look at what you're letting go of. You don't have to have the answers. But you know something is nudging you away from that old way. And it is with utmost self-compassion that we take a look back, to look our old self in the eyes, to feel the energy that we're letting go of. Allowing any emotions to flow here. It's normal to feel sadness. And if you can, making eye contact with that former version of you, can you let this part of you know that you're grateful for the ride? Can you say, thank you for bringing me to this point? Calling yourself by name and thanking this part of you. Perhaps envisioning a hug or a kiss on the forehead. Perhaps a squeeze of the hand. No hard feelings here. And allow your gaze now to turn away from the past, to look at that big, beautiful, mysterious door before you. Maybe even feels a little magic. And now, asking that part of you that's been in hiding, just waiting until you were ready to embody it. Calling her by name or him by name. Calling the name and asking, what is the first step you'd like me to take on the other side of this door? What is the first step you'd like me to take on this other side of the door? Writing down anything that arises here. And now, again, calling yourself by name, asking that part that's been in hiding, what support do I need to take that next step on the other side of the door? What support do I need to take that next step? Perhaps it's something internal or external, but just asking that question again, call yourself by name. What support do I need to take this next step? Writing down your observations. And now, bring your awareness to your body. Place your hands somewhere on your body, perhaps over your heart and over your center of gravity. And speak this statement to yourself, either silently or aloud, maybe even a whisper. Speak the words, I am supported. Repeat these words to yourself several times here, noticing the sensations in your body as you make this statement. What are the subtle sensations that arise as you repeat, I am supported? Notice if there's a softening or a hardening, a releasing or contracting. I am supported. Where do you notice those sensations the most? And do these sensations feel more like the way truth felt in your body earlier? Or do these sensations feel the way non-truth felt in your body? Take some notes on your observations. I am supported. How does that land and where does that land in your body? And does it feel like truth or non-truth? Yeah. If anyone had an experience that statement of being supported felt like a non-truth, then please email me or instant message me as soon as you want to. But please reach out because I'm here to support you. I'm here to work with that. So we're going to gradually come out of this now and we're going to come back up to standing. Okay, come to stand and bring again that left foot forward. Your arms can be down at your sides or you can float them up in a posture that feels appropriate for you, but that left foot is forward. And now, again, imagine that beautiful, gigantic, mysterious, magical door before you. This passageway between your former self and the integration of that part of you that's been in hiding, just waiting for you to be ready to embody it. Imagine now taking your left hand forward, placing your hand on the doorknob, turning your hand, turning the doorknob, and imagining yourself now stepping left foot forward through the door. Bring your left hand under your right armpit, your right hand to your left shoulder. Call yourself by name. You are supported. And may you remember that every time you answer the call of your spirit to move through another rite of passage, that you bring more of your spirit online and more of that essence into the world. That is your purpose. That is your meaning. That is the gift of your presence. Thank you so much for showing up to be fully you, and being willing to do the work to share that gift with the world. I love you all, everyone who's here live and everyone who will watch this later. Sending so much love and so much support out there. Know that we are community, regardless of the miles apart. This community exists here for you, and there's so much love and support here. Thank you for all the love and support that you share with me.